Hi scholars! If you're here, it's because you've finished the definition lessons and now we're on to inferencing. Inferencing is another kind of clue we can use to figure out words that we don't know. This picture helps us understand what inferencing is. It's when we use our background knowledge, also known as a schema. Background knowledge is stuff we already know, plus text clues, so what the author is telling us. You use inferences all the time, even outside of reading. I want you to think about a time that you've seen a friend or an adult upset. Think about it. You got it? I'm thinking of my time. How did you know that they were upset? Maybe they were crying. Maybe they had a frown. Maybe they were really quiet, even though normally they're very talkative. So what you did was you used your background knowledge that frowning or crying means that someone is sad, and then you used the clues. It wasn't from a text, but it was from them as a person. You saw them frowning or crying or looking really serious. You looked at the clues in their body language, and then you used what you knew about those clues to figure out, oh, they're not feeling very well. And that's what we're going to do to figure out unknown words in the text. I'm going to model for you in a Nearpod that you will be doing a similar one with different words for your practice and your exit ticket for inferencing. So let's try it in a text example. So the sentence says, Lauren loves to read. She frequently spends her Saturday afternoons curled up with a book. I have to figure out the underlined word, frequently. I'm going to use clues around the text to help me figure that out. Just thinking aloud, if Lauren loves to read, and my options here for the word frequently means never, often, or sometimes, and it says she frequently spends her Saturday afternoons curled up with a book, I think if she loves to read, then frequently would mean she's probably doing that a lot on a Saturday afternoon. But let's fill in the options. Does it make sense for me to say she never spends her Saturday afternoons curled up? So I replaced frequently with the option never. That doesn't make sense, not if she loves to read. Does it make sense if I say she often spends her Saturday afternoons curled up with a book? That does make sense if she loves to read. But let me consider the last option, sometimes. She sometimes spends her Saturday afternoons curled up with a book. Well, I know with my background knowledge and inferencing that if it's something that I love to do, I'm not just going to do it sometimes. I'm going to do it as often as I can. So I think the best answer choice is B. And in the next slide, in a quiz question, I get to click what I think is the best answer, which is B. I've explained why. Okay, I didn't click submit. We need to click submit. It let me know that I'm right with the green circle. So now I can go to the last thing I need to do, which is I need to highlight the clues in the text that helped me figure out what frequently means. So I clicked the highlighter pen in Nearpod. I'm going to click green. I clicked out, and the clue that helped me know that frequently means often, that she often reads in the afternoons, is that she loves to read. So especially this loves part, I might even circle it. That's what helped me know that frequently meant she often curls up with the book. I'm going to click submit, and now I've got another example for you all. Let's read it. Maria noticed that Mrs. Lynn's curtains were still closed. Maria thought that was peculiar because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning. The underlined word is peculiar, and I need to use all the words around it to help me figure out what it means. So, what happened in the text? Well, Maria noticed that Mrs. Lynn's curtains were closed, but she thought that was peculiar because usually Mrs. Lynn's curtains are always open. So let's look at our options. Odd, peculiar could mean odd. Does it make sense to say Maria thought that was odd because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning? Well, that would make sense that it was odd or different because Maria said that they were closed, but normally they're always open. So that would be odd. Let's look at the next option though. Does peculiar mean good? Would it make sense to say, Maria thought that was good because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning? That wouldn't make sense. Maria saw Mrs. Lynn's curtains closed, even though Mrs. Lynn usually always opens them. So B doesn't make sense. Let's read C. It says stupid. Would that make sense? Maria thought that was stupid because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning. I just don't think that stupid makes sense here, because Mrs. Lynn is not doing anything that would be stupid or dumb. She's just doing something that is different than what Maria normally notices. So I think that odd is going to be the best choice, because I'm picturing in my head, what if I walked by my neighbor's house and they're normally always awake at this time and their curtains are open? This is my background knowledge, but I'm walking by and I notice that they're still closed. I would say, that's peculiar or that's odd. I wouldn't say that's good or that's stupid. So my best option is odd, and I'm going to click that in the quiz. I'm going to click submit. And now it's time for me to highlight the clue in the text. I clicked the next slide. I'm going to click the highlighter tool. I'm going to use blue this time, and I'm going to even move this dot up, which means I'm going to increase the thickness. And I'm going to highlight the clues that helped me know peculiar meant odd. So what made it odd was that Maria noticed the curtains were closed, but what made that peculiar was Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning. So I'm going to hit submit. And now that I see this slide, I know that I'm done. If I didn't get 100 on the quiz questions, I would go back. I can't wait to see your great work using your background information and the text and the clues to inference and figure out the definition of the words.